Are you serious? Are you seriously serious? What? Is it a deal or no deal, or what is happening? Is the Straits of Hormuz open or closed? Is anybody shooting rockets or not? What is going on? We have the answers. Things are shifting and changing and maneuvering, and wow, we are in an absolute biblical moment. Let's put a shout out real fast if we could for www.pastorpaulgold.com. That's www.pastorpaulgold.com. When's the last time you actually held your investment? I mean, not checking the app or watching the numbers on the screen. I mean, physically held it in your hand. That's what I love about gold. Gold, a biblical currency. It's real, it's tangible, and it can be yours. No passwords, no logins, no 6-digit text messages for your access. In a world that's getting more digital and more abstract, more complicated, gold is simple, and so is silver. That's why we're seeing a massive shift to precious metals as everything moves to the cloud. People are starting to value what they actually can hold. And there's something powerful about that, believe me, because real ownership is becoming rare. But I want you to find out how you can do this and diversify your savings or your retirement funds or roll over that 401k. Simply go to www.pastorpaulgold.com. That's www.pastorpaulgold.com, or call them on the phone at 877-646-5347. You'll be glad that you did. Well, I'm glad that you're here. And of course, we're still in the Passover season, the 7 blessings of the Passover. But we are running out of time on that. I want you to get your Passover offering in today. Go to our website at paulbegleyprophecy.com, or pick up the phone and call them right now at 765-414-2230. Now, let me tell you what's going on, because we really do have some serious conflicting announcements, but we have an answer to what's going on, because the Iranians are still playing games, but it don't matter. The United States and the world is moving on and rolling on, okay? We'll start with the Iranians' response to this deal. The United States, according to the parliament speaker, who's one of the 3 people that America didn't kill at the governmental top, the Iranian parliamentary speaker, Mohammed Bagher Galbraith, accused the United States of violating the ceasefire agreement. Now, Galbraith said that the United States had violated 3 points of Iran's 10-point proposal that President Donald Trump had accepted as the basis for this negotiation. The United States and Iran also appear to be at a loggerhead over how traffic through the Strait of Hormuz should be managed, or at least that's the Iranian perspective. Now, Iran's parliamentary speaker, Mohammed Bagher Galbraith, accused the United States of violating this 2-week ceasefire agreement. Quote, "The deep historical distrust we hold toward the United States stems from its repeated violations of all forms of commitments, a pattern that has regrettably been repeated once again," according to Galbraith, and a statement that he made on social media. Now, 3 parts of the Iranian 10-point ceasefire proposal that Galbraith says the Americans have violated is Israel's continued attacks on Lebanon. And they did. They dropped 100 bombs on Beirut this morning. Also, the entry of a drone into Iranian airspace. And number 3, the denial of the Islamic Republic's right to enrich uranium. Now, in such situations, a bilateral ceasefire or negotiations is unreasonable, the parliamentary speaker said. President Donald Trump said that Iran's proposal was a workable basis for negotiations. The White House did not respond to his remarks, but the market did. The United States price of crude oil fell from $112 a barrel to $95 a barrel, 15% just about an hour and a half ago. Galbraith's statement comes less than a day after President Donald Trump agreed to halt the attacks for 2 weeks on Iran in exchange for Iran allowing the ships to pass through the Straits of Hormuz. A large gulf has now emerged between the United States and the Iranian interpretations of the ceasefire agreement, and particularly over the Straits of Hormuz. Trump said yesterday, that the ceasefire was subject to be complete, immediate, and safe opening of the Strait of Hormuz. But Iran plans to demand that ships pay a $2 million toll for every ship that goes through the Straits of Hormuz, which is insanity. So Trump wants the straits open without limitation, including no tolls. Open it up now. That's what Carolyn Levitt said in a press conference this afternoon. Now, the Iranian state news agency, FARS news agency, said earlier that oil tanker traffic through the Straits of Hormuz had been halted again as Israel continues to attack Lebanon. But according to the original agreement that Trump said was agreed to, Israel has nothing to do with this ceasefire. Israel's war with Hezbollah in Lebanon has nothing to do with the Iranian war with the United States and Israel, and the fact that Iran wants to build nuclear weapons and has enriched uranium that they must cough up, and they must allow the Straits of Hormuz to be open and free without anyone being threatened or try to shut them down. So what does this all mean? You can already hear the backpedaling by the Iranians, but let me tell you what the United States say and what they agreed to. President Donald Trump has been drawing a lot of praise from world leaders around the world. President Donald Trump agreed to a 2-week ceasefire with Iran yesterday. The move came after talks with the Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, who urged President Trump to delay any further U.S. military action while both sides continue to negotiate. Trump said today, that the United States would help manage the traffic in the Straits of Hormuz, which was effectively shut down by the Iranians early in this conflict, disrupting a significant portion of the global energy supply that must go through there. And before Operation Epic Fury began, the narrow waterway between Iran and Oman and the United Arab Emirates had typically carried roughly 20 million barrels of oil through the Straits of Hormuz every day, along with about 1/5 of the global liquefied natural gas. So leaders from Israel, Germany, the United Kingdom, and Australia were among those coming out in support of President Donald Trump's U.S. ceasefire agreement with Iran. And Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said his country supports this U.S. effort to ensure that Iran no longer can possess a nuclear weapon or nuclear missiles and cannot use any terror threats to America or Israel or Iran's Arab neighbors and to the world. Netanyahu explicitly said the ceasefire does not apply to Lebanon, meaning Israel could continue and would continue targeting Iranian-backed Hezbollah terrorists that are in Lebanon. Now, Kuwait and the United Emirates are reporting this morning fresh attacks from Iran involving dozens of drones. The regime in Iran has been targeting its neighbors across the Middle East during Operation Fury. And Iran reportedly had halted the oil tankers in the Straits of Hormuz in response to Israel attacking Lebanon. Israel dropped 100 bombs on Beirut, Lebanon this morning, as Iranian officials accused the United States of violating the ceasefire clause before the start of the negotiations. Only limited Iranian and Chinese tankers will be allowed to pass through the Straits of Hormuz, according to a report from the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. The standstill comes after Iranian parliamentary speaker Mohammad Bagher Gharif released a scathing statement on social media accusing the United States of violating 3 key clauses of his 10-point proposal. But Trump says his 10-point proposal was not accepted. There's a 15-point plan that Trump has implemented and was agreed upon in the back rooms. Mohammed is speaking publicly, but it's not what the Iranians agreed to privately. Matter of fact, Vice President J.D. Vance and the White House press secretary Carolyn Leavitt said during separate media appearances today that a ceasefire in Lebanon was not included in the agreement and never was included. This is a war between Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon. Now, Lindsey Graham, for some reason, who's been one of President Trump's strongest backers for the war in Iran, said that the ceasefire plan was a troubling aspect. He said, "I'm concerned about it. I don't understand President Trump's deadline." But Lindsey Graham, the senator of South Carolina, a Republican and long supporter going after the Iranian regime, gave a full-throated endorsement to President Trump's military action in the region when it began. But for now, the conflict has a 2-week pause, and he's concerned about the pause. Lindsey Graham said a diplomatic solution is the preferred outcome, of course, but he is not sold that a ceasefire deal brokered Tuesday night is time. The supposed negotiation document, in my view, has some troubling aspects to it. But time will tell, Lindsey Graham said. Then Lindsey Graham said, "I'm calling on Vice President J.D. Vance and other administration officials to come and explain this deal to Congress. I look forward to the architect of this proposal, the Vice President, and others coming before Congress and explaining how a negotiated deal meets our national security objectives in Iran." And Iran publicly presented a 10-point plan to end the hostilities that includes repayment for war damages, the ability to continue enriching uranium, and full control of the Straits of Hormuz. This is what the Iranians said they proposed for the 10-point plan. Trump's plan said, no, you'll have no nuclear weapons. You will cough up all of the enriched uranium you have there. You will not be allowed to have anything to do with the Straits of Hormuz. You cannot continue, and we're not going to pay you, and several other things. So publicly, the Iranians are talking tough and hollering that the U.S. has broken the agreement. But privately, the White House says that the Iranians have fully agreed to all 15 points to the Trump proposal, including surrendering the rights to control the Straits of Hormuz and including the surrendering of all the enriched uranium that they still have stored in underground cities deep, deep, deep in the sands of Iran. This is getting to be very, very, very iffy. But it looks like what's happening is it doesn't matter how much the Iranians cry. The United States is going to roll right over this. They're going to go in and get that enrichment. They're going to control the Straits of Hormuz. And they're going to let Israel bomb Hezbollah all they want in Lebanon, because Hezbollah is the one that fires on the innocent civilians of Israel. This is getting very intense right now. And you have to understand it. The Iranians lie so much. I mean, really, they just lie. You can't do a deal with somebody that all they ever do is lie. But that seems to be their situation. I'll be right back, guys, after this song with more on this Just In. Get some coffee and just calm down.
Saturday was silent, and surely it was through. Since when has impossible ever stopped you? Friday's disappointment is Sunday's empty tomb. Since when has impossible ever stopped you? This is the sound of our dry bones rattling. This is the praise make a dead man walk again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again.
Prophecy in motion.
This is the sound of dry bones rattling. Pentecostal fire.
Amen, Sawman.
Stirring something new.
You're right. Sawman is right.
You're not gonna run out of miracles anytime soon. Your resurrection power, it runs in my veins too. I believe there's another miracle here in this room. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. This is the praise make a dead man walk again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. My God is able to save and deliver and heal and restore anything that He wants to. Just ask the man who was thrown on the bones of Elisha if there's anything that He can do. Just ask the stone that was rolled at the tomb in the garden what happens when God says to move. I feel Him moving it now. I feel Him doing it now. I feel Him doing it now. Do it now. Do it now. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. Yeah, this is the praise make a dead man walk again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. This is the sound of dry bones rattling.
Are you serious? Son of man, these bones.
Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Prophesy and say to them, thus saith the Lord God, behold, my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up from your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. Then you shall know that I am the Lord, and I will put my spirit in you, and I will place you in your own land, and you shall live. I will place you in your own land. You
powerful, powerful prophetic song. Its name of the song is Rattle. And you can download it if you want to at Spotify, or you can just order the whole CD, which is called Harmonize and Prophesy. What a powerful music CD. It's available at my website if you go to paulbegleyprophecy.com. If you're still wanting to give your Passover offering, it's not too late. You still can. Today is, of course, the 8th. Tomorrow is the 9th. We're winding it down. You can still get your Passover offerings in. God wants you to have the 7 blessings of the Passover. Go quickly to our website at paulbegleyprophecy.com, or you can pick up the phone and call right now, 765-414-2230. Or you can do this. You could grab your phone and text give. Text the word give to this number, 765-722-2549. Okay, that's 765-722-2549. Or you can send a check or money order in the mail. Send it to Paul Begley Prophecy. The ticker going by has got the entire address. Paul Begley Prophecy, 1048-B, Sagamore Parkway, Box 33, West Lafayette, Indiana. That's West Lafayette, Indiana, 47906. That's 47906. Thank you for praying for my mom and dad today. I spent most of the entire day with them. Dad slept pretty well all day. He really rallied yesterday in his birthday. He was able to wake up, and a lot of visitors, a lot of family came. He was able to communicate. For the most part, he was coherent enough to know who he was talking to and what have you. Today, he went into a lot of sleep. I mean, he basically slept all day. When he did wake up, he was confused. And, he's not eating. He doesn't want to eat today. Maybe he will tomorrow. But your prayers are desired. And also my mother, continue to pray for her, as this is very stressful on her. And her Parkinson's, and so this creates stress on her, confusion, and that kind of thing. But she had a good day because some of the grandbabies were brought over, her great grandbabies, and so she likes that, the little babies. But so a lot of prayers, and we appreciate your prayers. We really, really do. Now tonight I am going to be on Getting Ready with Pastor Melvin Whittington, so don't forget that. That starts at 7 p.m. Eastern at www.ffctv.church at 7 p.m. Eastern, okay? Now I'm going to be back here on this YouTube channel a little bit later tonight with more. There's more other information and more things going on in the world than the war and the Straits of Hormuz and the price of oil and the Israel bombing Lebanon and Iran and Trump and all of that. There is other things happening. We'll get you up to speed on everything right to the minute later this evening, okay? So God bless all of you. We'll be back with more right here on the coming apocalypse. Are you serious?